Obviously, I welcome and thank you for coming out. Another tremendous turnout of our community and family of staff and caregivers, our first responders. Just beautiful to see you all here today. Today, I'm honored to join the Memorial Park Steering Committee, the Summit Hospital Health Foundation, our Flight for Life staff and crew, and you, to celebrate this milestone. A little over a year ago, a group of individuals, each grieving in their own way, came together with a vision to help heal our community. Their passion and dedication to build something beautiful in the place of tragedy led us down the path where we stand today. The Memorial Park Steering Committee, comprised of a family of friends, co-workers, community members, developed this healing place. Our community support for this park has been overwhelming, from the gifts of time to each and every donation. The park was built by our community for our community. I want to recognize our top donors for their support of this project and for helping us to recognize the heroic efforts of the first responders, the hospital staff who ran from the hospital, the Flight for Life crew, and all of our community on that day and every day that we serve our community. Working in the hospital, I am surrounded by the best men and women whose heroic actions are reflected in their selfless dedication to the care of others. This park is a symbol of that selfless dedication and will provide a healing space for all who visit. We are honored to have this park next to our hospital and in our community. We look forward to the days when our patient, staff, friends can wander through this park and find solace in the beauty of the surroundings. Today we celebrate the opening of the Flight for Life Mahany Heroes Park and the next chapter of memories and moments in our community. I'd like to now invite Julie Kebbel to join me. Julie has been the chair of our Memorial Park Steering Committee, and some of you that were with us this past Saturday night for dancing heard and saw a tremendous tribute to this committee as they received the Jerry James Volunteer of the Award of the Year. And that was a really fitting tribute to their selfless hard work and dedication to bring this park to fruition and a reality. Julie's going to share the story of this park, and she can do a tremendous job on doing that. Come on up, Julie. Thank you for that.
It's frightening. Thanks, everybody. If you have Kleenex, you might want to grab it. So thank you all for coming today for the grand opening of our park, of your park, of the Flight for Life Mahany Heroes Park. I want to take a minute just to thank a few key people before I let you all know about the meaning you'll find within this park. First, I want to thank the members of our Memorial Park Steering Committee for every single minute of time that they put in to make this park a reality. We knew that it wouldn't be easy, but now we know that it was worth it. This committee includes Karen Mahany, Crystal Mahany, representing Ryan Mahany, Eddie O'Brien, Peter Werlin, Matt Bowe, Amanda Soychek, representing Dave Repsher for most of the past year, with member Jerry McFarland for the first 6 months, and an ad hoc member, Marilyn Repsher, when we needed to have some longtime Summit County representation with the county. And Summit Medical Center, I want to thank Summit Medical Center Health Foundation who partnered with us on this project. I also want to acknowledge the landscape architects who did such an amazing job creating a vision that spoke to our hearts by putting our words and feelings into a plan that became this very special place. That is Elena Scott, Megan Teston, Leslie Minervini from Norris Design, and a particular thanks to Kim Kramer from Kramerland, who is both a true professional perfectionist and now a good friend. You are all visionaries. I need to also thank all of our generous donors. We struggled to put together the vision for this park, but it's your generosity that made this possible. I'd like to give special mention to our lead donors, including Colorado Grand, Air Methods, Apex Emergency Physician Group, U.S. Acute Care Solutions, and Centura Health. I'd love to mention all of the other donors we have, but we would literally be here until midnight. Look for our donor appreciation acknowledgement that will be placed in the lobby of the hospital later this year. And know that we appreciate the donations from the local Brownie Troop in Frisco as much as the donations from our lead donors. It was very important to our committee that all have the chance to donate and be part of creating this healing place. Now for the park and what you're going to find there. While you all may see a new park with a nice layout just off the rec path here, I want to tell you what I see. I see a new place for everyone to come and take in the beauty that surrounds us. The 10-mile range, Lake Dillon, the hospital that makes such a difference to folks in this community, and the daily work of Flight for Life that impacts so many at a crucial time in their life. Within this park, we have 3 distinct areas that we have called honor, celebration, and reflection. First, I see the new ornamental grasses that are planted to create a natural gateway into the park as you enter from the parking lot. Tall grasses will grow up here to remind us of the movement of the wind, especially the rotor wash from the helicopter. I see the handcrafted log bike rack at the rec path entrance made by Doug Lesh, a ski patroller with Dave Rapture at Copper Mountain. Doug's hours of labor donated to this place in honor of what happened here. It's a beautiful and natural element in the park. I see 3 donated pillars representing the 3 souls on board Lifeguard 2 that will spill a low light onto the pathway at dusk for a few short hours. I see the etched avalanche dog prints in the paver stones and recall that Patrick Mahany would tell his wife Karen that it was a particularly good day when he got to train with Avi dogs and handlers. I take note of the formality of the paver stones that are laid at the entrance to this place of respect and honor, and how they lead you to a sign where you will learn why we created this space and why we refer to that area as the honor space. We want everyone to know and acknowledge the tragedy of July 3rd, 2015, as well as the amazing work done by air medical teams worldwide, saving lives, giving hope to those in peril. Of particular importance to me are the 15 aspen trees you will walk through on your way to the benches in the celebration area. Each tree has been carefully chosen for its strength to represent the 15 immediate rescuers on July 3rd. These are Matt, Jackie, Carla, Taylor, Josh, Ron, Jimmy, Vinny, Matt, Tim, Teresa, Bill, John, Jordan, and Matt. The actions of these people, particularly Jimmy, are truly heroic and exemplify the love and respect we have for each other here in Summit County and at Summit Medical Center. I am forever grateful and ridiculously proud. Of what this team of people accomplished. You are all amazing to me, I see the colorful mountain perennials planted around the celebration area to reflect Patrick Mahany's colorful personality. I see the beautiful rotor blade benches, hopefully a space where you will sit, take in your surroundings, and contemplate the important work done by our medical crews, particularly our own Flight for Life, and take a moment to celebrate your own life and friendships. And though a distance away, I see the reflection space out toward Lake Dillon. Down the paver path with dragonflies etched in them, a symbol that has come to represent Patrick's presence to Karen. Please have a seat on the bench in the reflection space and let the walls support and embrace you as you look at the bronze plaque, created in honor of Patrick E. Mahany, Jr., who we lost that day. Read the words written by his son, Ryan Mahany. Look out at Lake Dillon and remember that Patrick loved water, especially to play and water ski. So this park is a true labor of love. Love from each of us on the committee for Matt, Dave, and Patrick. Love for Flight for Life. Love for this community and love from this community. We heard from everyone who physically worked in this project what an honor it was to be part of its creation. And I thank you all for a job well done. I am so thankful for the opportunity to work on such a healing project, to have had such a great group of people to travel this journey with, and to have tremendous support from St. Anthony's Summit Medical Center, both the administration and the staff. And finally, I see that this park is here for all of you. I sincerely hope you'll take the time to enjoy it. Invite Karen Mahany up here.
Thank you, each and every one of you, for coming today. My name's Karen. I'm Patrick's wife. The last 15 months for all of us has been some of the most challenging time ever in our entire life that we may ever face. I spoke at the 1 year about my grief and what things that I had learned. One particular thing I've learned is that people describe grief as a river as you're floating in it. I wouldn't really say for me it's that. It's more like the ocean where there's an ebb and flow. You have your good days and days that you slide back a little bit, but you are moving forward. And in this, our family has been trying to move forward to honor Patrick. After the 1 year, I went with my brother and his family to Canada. I was invited by them. They had been there many times to go fishing in this beautiful outdoor setting above Winnipeg. We went there, and it is such a remote area that there is no cell phone, there is no internet, and there was just happiness and laughter and the support of my family. But most in particular, what it gave me is the quiet inside my head. It gave me the time to really reflect on everything that had happened. And what I found happened when I had that quiet, just like we will be getting here at this space, is that I was able to hear Patrick and hear his words that he would have been telling me. Patrick was an amazing personality. He filled the room with his energy. One of his Army buddies wrote me and said, there's really two kinds of people in this world, ones that knew Pat Mahany and ones that wished that they knew Pat Mahany. In those moments when I started to be able to hear what Patrick would say, Patrick was telling me, honey, and he would have said it in a much more colorful way, but Sonny, honey, I'm going to be really, really mad at you if you get to heaven and you haven't lived your life to the fullest, just like I did. Patrick lived his life out loud. Patrick laughed every day. He found humor in everything. He found emotion and heart everywhere that he looked, and that's why people loved him so much. And so I know I had been trying very hard to honor and respect and celebrate Patrick's life, but I just don't think at that point I had been quite ready to celebrate. And after the 1 year, when I started to be able to hear what he had to say, I have been trying so hard to celebrate him and to live my life. And I think to honor him, if all of us could try to celebrate his life. And he would every once in a while say to me, if he thought it was a good idea, run with it, honey. And so find whatever you are great at. That is how you can honor Patrick, and run with it. Move forward and run with it, whatever you are the best at. That's how you will show Patrick that you are honoring the person that he was and the person that we miss. I miss him every day. I can't say that I'm perfect at this right now, but I'm doing the best that I can. And I thank you all for coming here today. I'd like to switch and start talking about Julie, our fearless leader. I would like to give some background on Julie. I've known Julie since 1998 when I started as a brand new flight nurse. Julie was already experienced at that time, and she was actually the person I went with on my very first flights that night, multiple. And it was amazing, and she is amazing. And what I discovered quickly about Julie is I describe her as two sides of a coin, where most people make a split decision and go with it. Julie has the most amazing ability, especially if it's a political issue or an emotional issue, she will step back and look at the other side of the coin thoughtfully and ask the other people around her, have you considered the other options? That is not something that everyone in this world has, but she has mastered that. I kind of call her the E.F. Hutton, I don't know if you remember those commercials, but the E.F. Hutton of Summit Medical Center in Summit County. When Julie Keble talks, people listen because she's so thoughtful. And then she was with me the day of the crash. She and I were sitting outside of Arapahoe Cafe waiting to be seated, and she got the phone call and looked at me and said, "Lifeguard 2's gone down, you need to run." And we ran towards the truck, and she drove it as fast as we could. And we got over here, and she immediately went to work, being the ER nurse that she is, trying to resuscitate Patrick. And against all odds, that team was able to bring him back long enough so that I could tell him everything that I wanted to tell him. So I have not had to worry that there was something that I didn't get to tell him. I got to thank him for loving me and for loving Ryan, and for being the one that we all miss today. And then Julie has stood with our family and helped me over the last 15 months. I told her she's been my PFD, my personal flotation device, for the last 15 months, and I thank her for that. After the crash, Ryan had approached Julie about putting a plaque here. And the Summit Foundation spoke with me and said I should work on getting a committee put together with a committee chair. And I knew there was no one who would ever be better at it than Julie. And she graciously accepted the task. And I know it hasn't been easy. I know it's had its rough moments, her challenges, but she never gets flustered. She never lets it show. When I was growing up, or when my brother and I were growing up, there was a poster in our house that my dad had. One of his heroes is Theodore Roosevelt, and he has become one of mine. And that now this quote called "The Man in the Arena" hangs on my wall too, and I've turned to it many times over these last 15 months. And I thought, I'm going to read a short passage from it, but I thought there was nothing more appropriate that I would like to give Julie than this quotation, because she has been the man in the arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena. Theodore Roosevelt. Julie, thank you for volunteering to be the man in the arena. I love you, and you're one of the most amazing people that I've ever met, and in particular, Patrick would routinely say to her face and behind her back that Julie is one of the most amazing people that he'd ever met. I'd like to invite the committee to come up at this time, and Ryan Mahany and Crystal Mahany have a gift to give Julie.
Good morning. We tried to think of something kind of amazing to give Julie as a small token of our appreciation for the time and blood, sweat, and tears that she put into this park as our chair. So one thing that we did is Ryan flew a flag for you in Afghanistan. The plaque says, in recognition of Julie Keppel for your outstanding dedication, leadership, and service as chairperson to the Memorial Park Steering Committee in the creation of the Flight for Life Mahany Heroes Park, your commitment to the integrity of this space and collaboration of every person involved is boundlessly inspirational, and we all are all ever so grateful. Thank you.
Wow. Thanks, you guys. It wasn't just me, it was the whole committee. Super special. I have a nephew who's newly in the Army, so I'll be calling him next.
And Eddie O'Brien has a few words he wants to say.
Oh yeah, this is for Julie. Because it's time to celebrate.
Yes.
Strong leadership, depth of caring, detail and constant attention.
Ever welcome. All right. Ryan?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Last time I addressed you all, we were sitting there at the Dillon Amphitheater in the presence of Dad, and similar to that day, now I really kind of feel like he's here. I got up, I just got back from overseas not too long ago, and I came up here last week to see the park and all the progress that was made. I saw pictures while I was in Afghanistan, but I didn't have the opportunity to really stand and take it all in. So last weekend, when we were up here, I got to take a look at it, and the word that comes to mind the most for me was transformation. Pretty much not too far from the spot that I'm currently sitting in is where the aircraft finally came to rest, and that tragedy kind of befell this spot, but it's not that anymore. It's a place of peace, serenity, beauty, all the love, all the work, dedication. It has truly transformed this space into something special, and I can't thank the committee enough. Really, the only thing that I wanted for the old man was a plaque, and now he's got this entire park, and it truly is amazing, and I could never say thank you enough to everybody on the committee and the donors, absolutely everybody that had something to do with this project. It's been truly amazing. Sorry, I pretty much don't go anywhere without her now that I'm home. So, and I have my little safety blanket now. I'm okay again. I think it says a lot about a community and a lot about a people that will honor those who gave their life in service to another. We do it in the military, and the fact that this community came together and did this for my father, it means a lot. And I really do thank everybody for what you did. And everybody that day on July 3rd that came to the rescue of Dave, Matt, and my dad. I probably shouldn't say it, but I have seen the crash video, and I've been in war 4 different times, and I've never seen that type of bravery live the way that I did that day. It was absolutely amazing. So, again, my thanks to all of them for everything that they did. And for all of you that know my dad, you know that he was a man of ritual. He absolutely never did anything once. He did it 10,000 times. And when I went on this last rotation, I have a memorial bracelet, and then I'm wearing the bracelet that he was wearing the day that he died. And before every flight, I kiss them both. And I carry a book that he gave me. Well, it's not a book, excuse me, it's a prayer book. But his father gave it to him when he went to Vietnam, and my grandfather carried that in World War II as well. So 3 generations of Mahany's have always carried that. But in addition to that, I also carried his prayer card with him, and it has a picture on it. And if any of you all know, Dad never carried pictures on him when he flew because he didn't want anybody with him in the event that he died. And he encouraged me to do the same thing, and I always did. And for this rotation, it's the first time where I ever really, truly defied the old man because I carried his picture with me because I needed it. And at the risk of this running too late, I'll just share you a quick story with you about what I think he did. One night in Afghanistan, it was February 14th, as it might be Valentine's Day. I was returning from a flight. It was around 1 or 2 o'clock in Afghanistan, extremely dark, and we were just returning to our home base. And unfortunately, as a flight, both aircraft went inadvertent IMC. For those of you that don't know that term, it means we couldn't see anything because we were in a cloud at midnight. And I was a person on the controls, and we were heavily loaded. We had full packs on board, and unfortunately, I didn't transition to instruments quick enough, and I became spatially disoriented, and I put the aircraft in a very dangerous attitude. And we only had about 3,000 or 4,000 feet to fix the situation, and I was flying with a poor kid who probably only had about 150 or 160 hours. And I was doing everything that I could to save that aircraft before impact. And I remember being able to get it level. I just couldn't get us out of the dive. And Austin, the guy that I was flying with, he just yanked back on the controls until that aircraft leveled. And we got out of it. We landed back safe at Jalalabad, and I said, Jesus, Austin, how on earth or what made you do that? And he's like, Ryan, it was like I had a guardian angel on my shoulder. Those are his exact words that he said to me. And I was, he didn't think it was a particularly poignant statement, but I sat there gasping for breath going, Jesus, thanks, Dad. So there was that. All right, enough. But again, thank you guys for all of this. Thank you for coming. I hope you guys enjoy the park. I hope that the community can find some healing from this in the same manner that I did. And please enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, Crystal, Ryan, for your service to our country and all of us. We can't thank you. We'll bring our celebration to a close here, but just a couple things before we close up. Matt and David. David's our heroes, and I want them to stand and be recognized also. David, we're so proud. Please. Matt, you're right in the back. Both of you are inspirations to us in taking such adversity and persevering, and you're just role models to us. Thank you so much for your service and for your courage and all you've done to be with us today.
You're a role model to everybody. Sorry, Paul, he can't hear.
I know he can't hear well, and we'll talk to him later,
But
okay?
he can feel all of this.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that he can. Thank you. One more applause.
Creator God and Father, in your kindness, hear our prayers. We bless and dedicate this Flight for Life Mahany Heroes Park to honor Patrick, who lost his life in the crash that occurred at his site. By the grace of your Holy Spirit, make this park a place of blessing, a place of reflection, a place of celebration, and a place to honor. May it be for us a center of love, a center where the community and visitors can always stop to rest and reflect on the sacrifices we make every day to extend your hidden ministry by caring for the sick and the hurting. Receive the soul of your servant, our brother Patrick Mahany, who died in service to you. Almighty and ever-living God, grant continued healing and strength to our brother Dave Rapture as he continues to recover from his injuries. Send down your blessing upon this park and make it holy. In the name of God the Father, in the name of God the Son, in the name of God the Holy Spirit. Amen.